super bad bitch, and I only hang around with other bad chicks.
Okay. My throat. Oh my gosh. I should have drunk a cup of tea before this video, darling. Hey guys, what's up, my top bottoms and girls of the world? Kenneth here, and I am back for another video. And today's video is a yes and no ma'ams of 2018, and when it comes to beauty, that is okay. I'm talking about everything that went on in the beauty community and the beauty world this year or whatever. Now I'm gonna just start off top. Okay, so this is basically my favorites video for those of you who probably new and just don't know what's going on. It's like my favorite beauty products and things like that, and stuff that I just didn't enjoy this year. This year was definitely like, to me, honestly, it was so much drama that it outshined like any like launches and stuff that happened this year. Like, just honestly speaking, like this year was just it was just a blur. Like this year, first of all, this year went by so fast. First of all, second of all, 2018, I think it drug a lot of girls by their hair follicles. It was a make or break year for a lot of people. It was just such a peculiar year. Like I just didn't know what really happened this year. And then me, myself, and I, you know, I just know that all year long I just been in this little box. I just been in my own little creative box, coming up with shit, doing shit behind the scenes, you know, just working on me, my mental, etc. And then when it comes over to the beauty community and like beauty releases and stuff like that, a lot of the releases were very repetitive this year. Everybody was just throwing stuff out just to have stuff out. Like this year in beauty was just not, it was that girl, but at the same time she was just not that girl. It was just a combustion of all type of shits going on. And I was just confused though, yeah, honestly and truly. But I did manage to find a few new products this year and some from previous years, but I really used this year, so I'm gonna mention them this year. But most of the things I think are sitting in front of me today came from like new releases this year. So that's a great thing. But I just said what I said. Y'all got what I was trying to say. Okay, so I'm gonna just jump directly into this video. I'm not gonna dwell on what went on this year or whatever, but I'm gonna give out my first no ma'am. The first no ma'am is to the beauty community. I was not gonna let that go, girl, because if I don't get this out right now, I'm just not gonna get it out. The beauty community was a hot mess this year. It was so much drama and just so much chaos that was going on. I personally did not appreciate it. And speaking to like young other influencers and stuff, like other influencers that are like smaller, I was about to say younger, but other influencers that are smaller, like them seeing these type of things go on within this so-called beauty community, they see it. A lot of people told me it was very discouraging to even do like beauty related content anymore, and I really felt that on like a serious tip, especially coming from me or whatever, because it's already discouraging for somebody like me to do beauty content, especially because I'm not like a full beauty vlogger. Like I'm like beauty vlog on Instagram, and then you get on my YouTube and it's just like I do a beauty video every now and then, but I love like makeup and stuff like this, and my audience is very aware of these things, so you know, I'm like a beauty entertainment vlogger. Like that's what I call myself. Now I'm not gonna drag the beauty community too much, okay? I'm about to move on to some products, but I just want to let the beauty community know that y'all was on my shit list this year. Y'all are on the naughty list, y'all on the no ma'am list. No ma'am, the whole beauty community just throw it all away. I mean, yes ma'am to a few people in the beauty community, but from like outside looking in, like listening to other people talk about this shit or whatever and being in it, oh, it's a no ma'am. It's a no ma'am. For example, like when everybody tried to gain up on my bitch Thomas Albert, when everybody tried to gain up on my bitch, y'all you fucked up. Shut the fuck up. And so much more. I won't even go down the list. Racist. Everybody saying the nigga, all these non-niggas saying the word nigga. Real life messy bitches calling bitches messy online. Oh my God, I should rip the beauty community a whole new ass. But I don't want to be seen in that light. So let me move on to what I'm here to do and give you the yes and no ma'ams of like makeup this year, I guess. I don't know. I'm just a beauty entertainment vlogger. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to makeup, even though I look better than half these bitches in real life. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with palettes just because mainly like everything that else that I mentioned is like complexion. I don't have that many palettes at all. The first few palettes that made it on my yes ma'am list come from Morphe. This is the 35M Boss Mood palette and 35V Stunning Vibes palette. These two palettes are, they're so beautiful. Oh, they look dirty. Oh my God, I use them. Y'all, these two palettes had absolutely everything that I needed for this year, like period. Like these two palettes just came, like look at these palettes. They came through and they just shut shit down. Like they was just amazing. When they arrived in the mail, because I am on PR, you know, I didn't buy them, but they are amazing and I have used them almost every other day of this year, ever since I got them. Don't remember when I got them, but when I got them, I didn't stop using them. Another yes ma'am from Morphe has to be their blush palettes or whatever. I'm not sure if these released. I feel like Morphe already had blush palettes, but they like repackaged like this stuff and they look cuter this year, stuff like that, and the packaging is more heavy duty. Morphe was one of those companies this year that really got into their bag. They got into their bag, they got into their gig, and they let the girls know. They let the girls know that we are Morphe and we are here to stay. If I'm not mistaken, or it just might be in my mind, but like 2 years ago when Morphe first popped up on the scene, like social media wise, like when she was just in everybody's face all of a sudden, I did not know Morphe was gonna be around this long, and I didn't know that Morphe was just gonna stand the test of time. Because I remember when it came out, it was stuff from China. It was just so much going on. But Morphe as a brand gets a yes ma'am for me this year. Like seriously, like Morphe really, they put out some very impressive products, including these eyeshadow palettes that I just gotta talk about, and this blush. Speaking of blush, let's talk about a not so familiar brand, or not so popular, familiar, popular, same thing. You get what I was trying to say. This brand, Stilazzi or whatever, actually came out with really cute blush palettes this year. My other blush palette, I feel like I left it in somebody's hotel room, and I'm really upset about that. But this other one is really cute too. I mean, it doesn't work for darker skin tones, for real, like I'm gonna just be all the way 100. Like I could get away with it, but I'm also like super light bright. Like people be thinking I'm mixed, I'm so bright, but I'm not mixed at all. I mean, I'm mixed down the road in my family, but my mama and my daddy is African American. Therefore, I'm black. I mean, but I do think I got like a great white grandmother or something like that. Some shit like that. But that's like, why am I talking about my family? We here to talk about makeup. But this one also came in a deeper version, and I wish I had the deeper version because you could see how much more I actually use the deeper version, even though I use this version. But they still get a yes ma'am because just like the payoff, the pigment, like it's perfect. Like if you're looking for like that blush, like these are that blush. These are those blushes. Still talking about palettes, I have to mention this really wonderful palette from Colored Rain, because ever since I got this one also, I've been picking up every day. Now it's not the most mobile palette because it is pretty large, but this is a Colored Rain. Cheers to the beauty palette. This is on top of my Christmas list for this year. Like this is a really good palette. Like it's a perfect gift to anybody. I don't know if I want to start with like the wonderful matte shades in this palette or the wonderful shimmers. It's actually what I used on my eyes today. If you cannot tell, I use the red, I use the silver, which is like the most pigmented silver eyeshadow I have ever ran into. It's in my inner corner, and then I use like this as a transition shade or something like that, and then I use this like in the middle to like give it, yeah, I did a whole bunch of shit. But with that being said, I just want to mention that this palette is a complete yes ma'am, and I personally live for it. Now I'm gonna stop talking about good things and mention a palette to some palettes that I really just didn't enjoy this year. I just didn't enjoy them at all. Starting off with Morphe and Jaclyn Hill. This whole collab was just shit. Like, I don't know what happened. The brushes was cute. I just got loud as hell out of nowhere. I am so sorry. But no, the Jaclyn Hill, I almost said Jaclyn and Morphe Hill. The Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes, they were like okay palettes, but it just got a no man for me. Like everything about this palette, the release, everything was just very messy and just a very not cute at all. And I'm sorry for being so honest, but I just didn't enjoy these palettes. Like I got both sets. The other set is sitting over there. I mean, she made money off these palettes. Hey, she made her coin. And it, like, once again, it wasn't horrible palettes, but it got a no man for me just because I didn't go to these palettes at all. I went to these palettes like once or twice. Another no ma'am. I really hate to give this no ma'am out. I really genuinely, I hate to give this no ma'am out, and I don't have that many no ma'ams for this video, but the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice palette. This palette was a no-go. Now, I made this palette work, but the quality of the eyeshadows in this palette reminded me of the quality in eyeshadow palettes from like toddlers. Like, I kid you not, the quality of this palette was not up to par, and I love Fenty to death. This is one of the only things that I ever hated from Fenty. I promise you, I love Fenty. Fenty is, that's my girl, okay? But this palette is a no ma'am for me, and I think a lot of people would agree on this being a no ma'am. Like this, they just did not hit it out the park. They just didn't hit the park. And for a brand like Fenty that hits everything out of the park, it was just strange. Like I was just like, what? Like it was, I feel like it was released at the wrong time of the year. It was just all type of things wrong with it. I did use it a few times, okay? So it's not terrible. I like it better than the Jaclyn Hill collection, the Morphe collection or whatever. I like it way better than that collection. It wasn't just completely terrible. You know, I used it, but it was definitely more so of like a cute little everyday palette. And to see like a palette with colors like this, I wanted something that had a little more versatility. I don't know what I wanted, but it wasn't this. And that's another thing about palettes this year. Palettes this year were so boring, and it's probably because we've already seen almost everything. So with us seeing almost everything already, everything that came out this year was just very lackluster. It was a great year in music though. I know that's completely random, but y'all know I love music, and it was a great year in music. Now, while I didn't like that specific palette from Fenty Beauty, Fenty Beauty hit it out the park with this bad boy right here. This is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil Palette. This deserves a complete yes ma'am. It was beautiful. From the first time I seen it, I said this is gonna be my girl. And y'all, she like really did become my girl. Like this palette became my ride or die bitch, like girl. Now it's clear as day that I use like these two the most, but these really make great eyeshadows, great inner corners. I do not know if it was limited edition or not. Hopefully it wasn't, but if it's still available, get it. I don't even know if this palette's still available, but it was one of my favorite products from this year. Like, just hands down. Along with everything else that Fenty Beauty released though, because Fenty Beauty was just a complete yes ma'am all year long. So I want to talk about these palettes briefly, and I'm talking about them briefly just because I haven't got to like use them, but I can tell you right now that I absolutely love these palettes so much. One being the Pretty Rich palette from Too Faced. Too Faced also seems to have a very great year. This palette was the perfect way to end it because I just got this like 2 weeks ago. Y'all, this palette is popping for real, for real. She's cute, she's real cute. And also I want to talk about this other palette from the brand called Huda Beauty. Now I said that like that because I had a little beef with Huda Beauty towards the beginning or like the middle of this year or something like that. It was whenever they were like straight up jacking like Beauty Bakery's like whole like gig with like the setting powder and stuff. Like I really had a problem with that. Like that really had rubbed me the wrong way just because I know Cashmere, who is the CEO, founder or whatever of Beauty Bakery, and I know she doesn't deserve something like that. She's a really sweet woman and her products are amazing. So when Huda Beauty did that, it was just a complete no ma'am for me. I was just like, what the hell is that? It's like, y'all are not about to do this, not under my nose. And I told my audience about it, and my audience was like, yes, I agree. However, since then, Huda Beauty has shown improvement. They've been posting more black people. I think so. I just know they posted my boo Vari, and that's popping because he's a dark-skinned boy and he deserves more recognition. So y'all go follow him. If y'all are watching this video, go follow Vari. There's a whole bunch of other black beauty boys I can give a shout out to. Shout out to y'all, but this is not a shout out video. Vari just crossed my mind real quick. I'm sorry. I received this around Halloween, and I use this on like on Halloween look, and I just use this like only like 5 times, but I'm telling you that this palette is like really good. Like I would spend my money on this palette. Okay, moving on from palettes and straight into complexion, all things complexion. I want to start with primer just because I didn't use that much primer this year. Like I alternated between like 2 or 3 primers. I first have to mention the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. When I say the yes ma'am of all yes ma'ams, that was like the product of the year for me. It's upstairs right now and I don't feel like going to get it. So I'm just telling y'all that was my primer of like the year, or like my makeup product of the year. Like if I had to have a makeup primer of the year, it was the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. So it's upstairs and I really don't feel like moving. But I'm telling y'all about it just to let y'all know, like that was that primer. She was that girl. Another product that I ran into that worked really great as like a primer or just something to wear underneath your foundation, not necessarily a primer because I don't think it increased the staying power of my foundation. What it did was give me a little more coverage, and it gave me like this effortless soft glow that I've been having all year long thanks to this product. It's the MAC Hyper Real Foundation. This stuff is amazing, and I really wish MAC would like push this more or something because I don't think they know what they have on their hands. I don't think they know. This product, it comes in like 2 or 3 different colors. It's really, really good. I believe it dropped during the summer or a little before summer. I'm not completely sure, but I've been using this product a lot behind the scenes. Like I have not even really used it on camera yet, but I have been using it. As you can see, I don't know if you can see how messy this looks, but it's very messy. It's called foundation, but it's not necessarily foundation. It's definitely more so of like something you mix into foundation or something you wear alone, like before you put your foundation on. And it provides like a little coverage. I really like the stuff. You should try it out. So now we can talk about concealer. Start off by talking about the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I don't even really have to say anything. This concealer was just really amazing. Like, it was the best concealer of the year, in my opinion. But she did have a few girls that stood next to her. She did. She had a few girls that stood next to her. She did.
That I'm talking about. She was sitting right here just comfortable and pretty like and whatever, and these bitches just came and pulled up right next to her and was like, hey girl, how you doing? You're not the only one that could cover some shit.
I want to first give a yes ma'am to the Huda Beauty concealer that dropped this year. This is the Overachiever concealer. This was a really good concealer. Another concealer that gets a complete yes ma'am for me comes from Danessa Myricks. Now Danessa actually made this concealer because of my big mouth. When they ask me what my mouth do, I say it make concealers.
That was ugly.
A year ago, or a little over a year ago, Danessa had released her Vision Cream Cover like foundation or whatever. And as I was using that, I was like, this is great. This is great. I can use it every day because it's very full coverage. I don't suffocate in it, but it's very full coverage. And I just don't do full coverage every single day. I do it like every other 2 days or something like that. Like, I don't do full coverage every day. But with that being said, I had noticed that the cream cover, it would have made like a great concealer. And I kept saying it in my videos, and then this year she comes out with a concealer version of it. This is the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover Perfecting and Shaping Wand, and I'm not just mentioning this because she made it because of me or whatever, and she told me that she made it because of me because I ran into her at this little thing that I went to earlier this year. But this is besides the point. Let me get back on track of what I was talking about. A very good concealer. Like, this is the most full coverage thing that I have found like on the market, like point blank here. Like, it's more full coverage than anything I've ever used. It's just I'm curious as to how she got it this full coverage. Like, I want to ask her. I think I know what it was. I think they put a lot of pigment in the stuff or whatever. I'm not completely sure, but I think it was something like that. I forgot. But the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream Cover Perfecting and Shaping Wand, I have to mention it one more time just because it was a complete yes ma'am for me. Before I continue talking about concealers, I have to mention that Danessa also was one of the people that had a lot of standout products for me this year. Products like her beauty oil. I have drier skin, so especially around this time of year, I was searching for an oil. But these beauty oils actually found me. They showed up in PR one day, and it took me like 2 or 3 weeks to actually use this because I don't use everything that I get in PR immediately. And when you mix it in with your foundation, it makes your foundation look more luminous and it feels more hydrating. And then all year long, if you've been like paying attention to me or whatever, like, I've been like glowing. Like, it's been more than highlight. And it was thanks to Danessa Myricks and her, I don't know what these are called, wet balm. They're balms. See, Ante also has the Dewy Sticks version of these or whatever, so that's popping if you want a stick version. But I really like these. I prefer these more because I could just dip my beauty blender in it when I'm done doing my makeup and just, you know, dab it on, and I just look dewy like all day, and it just stays. I like to call these face gloss. I don't know why no company has came out with these yet and called them like face gloss, because that's what it literally is. Like, it's face gloss. Like, people know what, people could put one when I get them. Last concealers that I really did enjoy this year come from Milk Makeup. Milk Makeup's Flex Concealers. These are really good concealers, you guys, and I'm talking about for any skin type. And I feel like people will really sleep on the Milk Makeup concealer this year. Like, this concealer is so good. It's just such full coverage, and they don't crease at all. Now, while Milk hit it out the park, and they get a yes ma'am from me with their concealers, Milk did not hit it out the park this year with this powder. Girl, I don't know what the hell Milk was going through with this powder. I have never had a powder that added texture to my skin. I don't have texture. Where are you bringing texture from on my skin? I wanted to know. I had questions. They were never answered. Milk Makeup released the Blur Set Matte Loose setting powder this year in like 3 different colors, and I was really excited to try it just because, you know, I adore setting powders. But this was not the gig. This was not a bop. This was definitely a flop. And I was seeing reviews about this powder. Everybody was talking about how they just did not like it at all. This was like one of the biggest flops of the year. Nobody liked this powder. I can't find a person that liked this powder. If you find a person that likes this powder, come back to me and let me know. But I personally did not like this powder, and I really tried to make it work. And I love Milk. I love everything Milk stands for. The Milk Kush Mascara is one of the best mascaras that dropped this year. The best mascara since Better Than Sex. Like, hands down, it was just as good. She sits right next to Better Than Sex very comfortably. She sits with her titties out. She sits with her, she has a middle part, okay? She's sickening. While I'm talking about the Milk Kush Mascara, I might as well go and talk about other mascara that made me really happy this year. The one being the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This was a really good mascara. I don't know if this dropped this year, last year, or the year before that, but I know I found it this year, and I know I've really been enjoying this mascara. This is a really great mascara, you guys. Rewinding back to setting powders really quickly, I have to mention my Hourglass setting powder. It was a really good setting powder that was released this year. But I also have to mention the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder. This setting powder was amazing. I think this is the best thing that we've had since Laura Mercier. And I like this a lot more than the Laura Mercier powder. A complete yes, ma'am. Okay, you guys, we have worked our way all the way down to foundation. This is my favorite part because I love foundation. If you don't know this about me, I am all about a good base and looking very healthy and just very youthful and just very good in the face, very blended, you know, blended. We blend it no matter what we're doing. We could be blended in love, we could be blended in tears, we could be blended with mascara running down our face, we could be blended sucking dick, bitch, okay? We're going to be blended in this camp. Okay, so all these foundations are foundations that you can find in Sephora. Unfortunately, none of these come from the drugstore. I didn't really dip and dabble into drugstore makeup this year, so my apologies. But the first foundation that I have to mention comes from Dior. The Dior Forever Undercover. Don't ask what my top is. This was like my go-to event foundation this year just because it really did have staying power. My summer foundation, which is actually like all gone. Like this foundation is just all gone. My La Mer Soft Fluid Long Wear Foundation was absolutely beautiful, perfect for the summer, perfect for the winter too, honestly, but even more perfect for the summer because it had like SPF in it and stuff. Really good foundation. I wore this foundation all summer long and all year long. Just a good foundation. Very pricey, but very worth it. The Born This Way foundation was absolutely amazing, and I think a lot of people can say it was a staple for the year of 2018. And the last foundation on the Yes Ma'am list comes from Cover FX. Cover FX actually released the Power Play foundations this year, and the beginning of this year I would use it like every now and then, but they were a little too dry for me. Not too dry, they were just too, I don't know, I didn't feel these at first, but towards the end of summer going into fall and coming into winter, I've really been using this foundation like absolutely crazy. Like it's what I have on today. The finish is just really good and the coverage is amazing. It reminds me a lot of the Lancome Tint Idol foundation. And if you're no stranger to my channel, you know that the Lancome Tint Idol foundation is one of my top like 3 foundations of all time, like even above these, girl. Like the Tint Idol foundation is just so amazing to me. In the category of lips, I really wasn't too crazy about any of the lipsticks and stuff that released this year, just because we've seen almost everything with lipstick and nothing was like too crazy or excited. It wasn't too many new formulas and stuff, and honestly all year long I just was wearing gloss. Fenty Beauty really does great when it comes to releasing glosses and things like that. Like their glosses are really superb. Buxom has really good gloss. MAC has really, I love lip gloss. A lot of people don't like lip gloss, but I like lip gloss, okay? I mean, the year of it wasn't a year of lips for me. It just wasn't exciting. Like it just wasn't. Like, and I wear gloss all year, so that's that. Gloss with like brown lip liner or brown eyeshadow. I have a little trick I do when I can't find like my perfect lip liner. I just use eyeshadow to line my lips, like with a little detail like eyeshadow brush. It works perfectly fine. The only last no ma'am that I have to give out for the year goes to ColourPop, and that's for every single foundation that they released this year, including this shit and the stick foundation. I just didn't like any of the foundations that ColourPop released this year. They were very garbage. ColourPop does amazing with other things in other departments, in eyeshadow, eyeliner, highlighter, blush, lip stuff, everything. But skin stuff, I just think they just need to reformulate a whole lot of stuff, or they need to have other people come in and test out products or something, just because their foundation just was not superb. It just was not the girl. It was a complete no ma'am, all of it. I don't care what anybody has to say. it enhanced texture that I didn't have, along with the milk powder. But that's not saying that I don't like these companies. I love these companies. ColourPop sent me something every other week this year, but I enjoyed almost everything. Like, all their collections have been bomb, even though after a while it becomes like, oh my gosh, y'all got so much stuff coming out. But everything was pretty good. You know, it's all of decent quality, so why not? And most of it is more than decent quality. But with that being said, 2018 is pretty much a wrap in a year of makeup for me. If it's anything to come out this month after this, girl, they just gonna have to come out and we'll talk about it next year. Honorable mentions also to Kylie Cosmetics. Kylie Cosmetics was really cute this year. KKW was decent this year. I give KKW a no, man, personally. There was nothing spectacular that came from KKW. They were popping this year. Who else was popping this year? Anastasia, even though they released a whole bunch of cute stuff too, I guess, but it was just everything was so boring this year. Anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was my yes and no ma'ams of 2018, and 2018 is a wrap with yes and no ma'ams. As always, be sure to flip your hair. Even if you don't have any hair, be sure to flip it. After you get done flipping your hair, make sure you feel like you are that bitch, because we are all those girls of the world. Even if you don't feel like you are that girl of the world, I'm here to tell you that you are that girl of the world. I love all of my KenDolls so much, and I will see my babies in the next video. As always, stay flawless.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and fuck you.
Hey, posing, drinking all the bottles of Patron. Drive these niggas crazy cause they know they can't control me. A hottie, a model body, super Armani, I'm shining. If you looking, ain't that hard to find me? Yeah, Stelly is a player.